Are you ready to learn what goes into a one-on-one consult?
I am.
You are? Okay, so we're going to do a little demo to show you exactly what goes down during a one-on-one, because I feel like a lot of people are kind of like, I don't know if I want to do that. Yes, I agree.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to do step by step, and we're going to show you what we kind of go over during a whole one-on-one consult, and show you how easy and
Hey, Connie.
non-stressful it is. Hello, Connie. So if you have questions, just drop them in. If you're interested in doing one, contact either me or Andrea during this. So we're going to start out with the basics and kind of go step by step through the whole consult.
I'm barefaced.
Yes. Andrea's barefaced. We're going to turn her bare face into a LimeLife Lovely. So the first thing we're going to do is when I have a person come in for a one-on-one. So typically, I'll either have them come to my house or I'll meet them at their home. Whatever's more comfortable for them. Typically, I'll go to their house just because I feel like they're in their normal.
Element.
Yeah, they're in their home. So I'll sit down and I'll say, okay, what exactly are you looking for? Typically, most people, hey Sandra, are going to say, I want everything. Well, what's everything? Everything can be anything from just foundation and a powder to the whole shebang of eyeshadow, mascara, foundation, powder, everything. So the first thing we're going to do is Andrea wants a full face.
Yes.
So initially what I'm going to do is we're going to do a
Color matching.
She's going to cover for me. So we're going to do a color match. So I have a bunch of different ones. I have every shade. Andrea, as you can see, is a little bit more pale. So we're going to try and find which one works best for her. So the first one we're going to do is Ivory. And what I do when it's a personal one-on-one is I'll grab my palette and I'll use a concealer brush and I'll just kind of dab a little bit of the product onto it. And what I'll do is I kind of go down, perfect, along the jawline and see how it matches. So you'll see with this one, and yes, I do already know Andrew's color, is we're going to see how well it blends in. Because you don't want to do anything that's going to be super dark or super light. So, for example, the other one that we have is, the one I put on her is Ivory, but this one is like Shinto Zero, and as you can see, it's a little yellow. We don't want that. We want a more natural look to her.
Do I burn or tan?
Reason being, do you burn or tan? If you burn, you're going to want a different, it's going to tell you what color family you're going to be in.
If you burn, you more than likely have pink skin tones. And
Correct.
if you tan, you have yellow. And our shades are based on that. Olive is pink and Shinto is yellow.
Correct. See?
Or your ivory, which has zero of either.
Ivory has no color to it. It's basically white. So now that we know that Andrea is Ivory, we are going to start a full face of foundation and kind of go from there. What I usually do is I'm going to show you from start to finish. We're going to start with our primer, which is going to give you a nice even base.
Calm my redness.
It also has soothing properties, so it's going to calm down redness. It's going to also help with...
I can't live without this.
No.
I have lots of redness.
It helps with the redness, but it also helps prevent your foundation from going into the pores and lines and wrinkles. Excuse my neck. So we have two different tools, and I asked, do you want... I do this. I don't know if you do this. I asked, do you want more of a lighter finish or do you want more of a heavy finish? And depending on what they say, that's going to tell me what tool I use. So if I want more of a full finish of foundation, I'm going to use my sponge. If I want a lighter, I use my buffer brush. So, what do you prefer?
I have a lot of redness and marks to cover, so I prefer full.
Well, she prefers a full finish. So, we are going to get out our ivory, and we're going to use our Blenderful. It's a little dense sponge. It has a flat side for getting all of the larger areas and a little pointed end to get into the little creases around like your nose and eyes. Now all you're going to do is twist it in there. Are you ready? Mm-hmm. And we're just going to go through and apply the foundation. And with ours, it's wax based. So it will kind of melt a little bit with your natural body heat. So I just do a little bit all over the face to start off with. And then I start just dabbing it into the skin. And this is probably more from when I was in school for massage, but I'm like, am I pressing too hard on your face?
No, it feels nice.
You're going to see the coverage is already getting rid of a lot of the redness on her skin tone.
I will kill it with Shinto Zero if I have to.
And you can go back in, and we're going to talk concealers after this. But I always start out with just the foundation because sometimes our foundation has so much pigment in it already that you really don't need a lot of concealer.
I just need to tone the red.
Yeah, we just need to tone out a lot of her red. I'm going to move her head back just a little bit. And I do more of a dabbing technique. I know some people like to do more of a swipe.
I'm a dabber.
You're a dabber. We're both dabbers. And the one thing I will also tell you, because I don't want to get too close and personal with your face, so if I'm getting like up in like her eye area, I'm like, if you feel more comfortable with this, you can feel free to get in around your eye area. So I'll go and use the pointed end and get the foundation in there. And then I'll have you look up so I can make sure I got it under your eye. And keep looking up. And the reason why it's also nice to have like a one-on-one is not only do you get to see the products work, but you get to see how they're applied.
And if you're comfortable enough, you can apply them.
One of the things I've also done, if you would prefer it done this way, is I'll take all my makeup off and I'll actually do my makeup with you.
Right.
So you
like
can
showing.
Yep. Showing.
Like do it. Some people learn more better by doing hands-on. And you know your own face best.
All right, so we got foundation. I think we got it. You can look in the mirror. And I always ask them, does it look like I have all the spaces? And I always have my Rookie mirror handy with me. I think we did good. You know the mirror.
Oh, that one.
Yes, this mirror.
I wear mine a lot more heavier, but that's also what you discover when you're doing a one-on-one.
How I wear my makeup is completely different than how Andrea wears it. So now what I can do too is be like, okay, I put this on how I feel like it looks best on you, but maybe you like a little bit more coverage. So I'll give her the sponge and she can go in and apply it as needed. You want me to do more? Okay.
We always want to make you comfortable, and we will start out lighter and go. It's easier to get more than take away.
And you can always layer. That's kind of another nice thing about our foundation is it is so thin because it's so pigmented. You don't need a lot of product, so you can do layers to get the effect that you do want without it feeling heavy or cakey. So now, does that feel better?
Yes, it is.
So now what I'm going to do actually is I'm going to go back in. She does have a little bit of redness still showing through. So I'm actually going to go through with our concealer. The one I'm going to use on her is Concealer Zero. It's a little bit of a fuller effect coverage than our foundation. It's also waterproof. And what I'm going to do is just kind of go through. And if they're comfortable, I do ask them before I do this. I'm like, is it okay if I touch your face with my hand? Most people are going to say, yeah, so it's fine. I don't care. But I always ask just out of common courtesy because I don't want to make them feel uncomfortable as I'm going through and touching their face. And actually, a lot of this is covered really well with our foundation. There's just a few little spots. Hopefully I'm not in the camera too much.
If my spots are too red, I always kind of take more of the yellow to mellow it out. Because yellow does take away from the redness.
It's a really good counteractant to it. I think we did pretty good.
Yeah.
And I just used Concealer Zero. You really don't have that much red showing through
No,
now.
I have to be, yeah. I'm very limited with this Shinto.
So with the concealer, you can do a couple different ones. The one I use is basically a more, what's the word I'm looking for?
what have you used?
Just to cover up your spots.
Oh,
It just gives you a little bit more coverage.
correcting?
A little bit more
Is that the
correction.
word?
Yes, correction. I'm just going to get in the little creases of your nose with it.
Versus highlighting.
Yep. So instead of highlighting, we're going to correct it and it's going to kind of dim those colors down. So after that is done, what you can do if you notice that they're showing a little bit more prominent, you can cover it back up and kind of blend it with the Blunderful, just so it's not like a dramatic spot. And I think we covered pretty well. Yes? We're good? Now we'll do powder. And with ours, we only have one powder currently, and it is a no color powder. It's actually, I think they're changing the name to Perfect Translucent powder. And it's white, but it doesn't apply white. So we're going to put that on next. Again, though, it's a big mama brush. And this is another step where I'm like, if you're more comfortable doing it yourself, you can, because I kind of get up in your eye area.
And this is also what you prefer. Some people don't like powder.
Yep, and with the powder, it's going to get rid of that matte, or give you more of a matte finish, where if you can just wear a foundation alone, you can wear it so it has more of a dewy look to it. And I know that I'm already applying the powder way later on her face than I would on my own. Is that what you do? I feel like I pile it on. But, so now we did the little bit of powder. I asked, do you like the way it is? Do you like a little bit more? And they're gonna you're gonna tell me. You're gonna tell me exactly what you like. I do need to fix your under eye.
The translucent is a little hard to, like, I can't see it on my face, obviously. It's made to set makeup, so I'm not like, oh, I need more, because it's not a color.
Now the one thing I will do, just because I noticed like her under eye area does need a little bit more coverage, is I'm going to have you look up, and I'm going to use my finger, and I'm just going to get in there and kind of dab it. With this concealer, you don't need a lot, because again, it's 50% pigment. I feel weird getting up in your eye.
I can't say I've ever experienced it.
This is going to be the hard part. It's easy when you do it on yourself, but then to do it on another person is not the easiest thing in the world. And when you do this, I always use my ring finger because it is the one that has the least amount of pressure.
She may look like she's stabbing me, but
I'm not stabbing. I promise I'm not stabbing. Okay. And what's my next step?
I want lips next.
You want lips? You do lips next?
Because I feel weird.
She feels naked. So we're going to do lips next. We're going to kind of skip over
live
while I
without
do it.
lip color.
And everybody does their one-on-ones different.
Mm-hmm.
So I just want to cover up your... Where's my brush?
Typically,
This
we're not gonna put anything on you that you wouldn't wear on a daily basis. Like do you wear eyeliner? Yes. No. We're not gonna put it on you if you don't wear it. So.
Exactly. I'll have you look up again. I'm just going to seal the concealer into place. Now, do you do this?
Mm-mm.
Because I have kind of like a little weird wrinkle underneath my eyes. I have little squinty eyes, where Andrea has nice large eyes. So I get kind of a crease underneath, so I go back through and set it. Now for lippies, do you prefer more of a lip stick, which is almost like a lip balm with ours, or would you prefer something long lasting, where it's going to dry to a matte finish?
I prefer the matte.
The enduring lips.
Yep.
So if my lovely model would grab that black bag under there.
Oh, but I do love Shirley Temple.
Oh, Shirley Temple.
Sorry.
No, very good.
No, I'll do the matte. We'll stick with my
Are you sure?
regular. Mm-hmm.
And Shirley Temple. Are you sure?
Yeah, we'll do Shirley.
We'll do Shirley
Can I do
Temple.
it, though?
Yeah. And this is where I also say, like, a lot of people, like, I'm not comfortable putting mascara on other people. I will do it. But, like, now with, like, lips, some people are just more comfortable having themselves put that product on. So with Andrea, she wants to put it on herself, which, have at it, because I want you to feel comfortable. We don't ever want you to feel awkward when you're putting on product or when I'm putting product on you. And another little pointer I want to say is, like, when I go to like a one-on-one or have somebody over, my products are always sanitized. I have a specific sanitizing spray for all my makeup products. So what I use on myself or Andrea is always sanitized, and it's going to have a clean finish to it.
No bacteria.
There's no bacteria. So you're not getting somebody else's face germs on your face, because nobody wants that. Okay, so we did the face. My next step is I say, do you want your eyebrows done? Do you want more of a definition? Would you like more of a definition, or are you okay with how your eyebrows are?
I'm gonna say yes, because Christine's good at eyebrows.
I'm good at eyebrows. And some people like it. Some people have amazing eyebrows. Others, not so much. Like me. And one of the tips I will do is I will show you, because obviously I can do my right hand really, really well. Left hand, not so much. Is I will take and do the one eyebrow and let the person during my one-on-one do the other one. So I'll show them how to do it, and then they can kind of learn as I do. I'm just going to kind of clean up a little bit here because we have too many makeup products. We have too much makeup. And with our eyebrows, right now, what I use is our eyeshadows. And we do have a couple different browns to choose from. Do you know which one you use typically? I use that one.
Yeah. That one or that one? I have to go with that one.
This one?
Or that one.
Okay. I'll do this one and see what it looks like. Sometimes I mix colors.
I'm no expert.
Just to save a little bit of time, what I do is we use an eyeshadow, dip it in a little bit of spray, and then apply it.
Setting spray.
Setting spray. So we're gonna go and I'm gonna brush out our eyebrow. And you can watch me do this if you want.
So you get closer.
Yeah, you can get closer, or you can hold the mirror in front of your face. Okay. So how I do my eyebrows is a little bit different than a lot of people do. So I actually start at the bottom angle of the brow, and work my way out to the point, because I think it gives a little bit more definition. And it also kind of shows me where my brow goes. Because then I can work from the top and get it in place. And you just started doing your eyebrows too, which makes me happy.
Mm-hmm.
So we did an eyebrow. I have to fill in a little bit more just here on top, but that's where it's kind of nice, is I build the frame of it from the bottom, and then I kind of work the way to the top. Where a lot of videos I have watched, they actually start from the top and work their way to the bottom, and sometimes I feel like that makes your eyebrow almost drag down and kind of make your eye look closed. And on a fun side note, we do actually have some fun new products coming out, so you won't have to use eyeshadow anymore. They are going to be eyebrow gels. I think there's, what, 3 new colors?
4 if you count clear.
Oh, yes, and there's a clear. So I'll have her look in the mirror and say, okay, what do you think about your eyebrow? Is it a little too dark? Is it too light? What do you think about the shape? I think it's a little dark.
I'm okay with the dark. I think it needs to come down a little bit.
So we're going to do a little bit more shading on the inside corner.
Just what I can see.
And see, I'm doing what she wants, not what I want.
It's all about you.
It is. It's all about you, because I want you to be happy. You're the one that's putting this makeup on your face. How about that? And I'm going to brush it out a little bit. So we just brought it in just a little bit. And what I like to do is kind of brush it out a little bit more so it gets more of a fade. I feel like I'm talking in like 80s talk when I say the fade. So now you can see how her eyebrow is basically completely done.
Oh, I love it.
That is a nice eyebrow.
It is.
So now, do you want to try to do the other one?
Sure.
So, there's the little guy. And this one, I did just stick with that one color.
This one?
Yep, Taupe for the Best. So now she can kind of learn from how I applied it and how she wants to put it on herself.
I don't know if you can see me when I'm in the mirror, but we'll give her one.
Oh, you move that around as needed.
We do this with actually anything. Foundation, like sometimes it's easier to get the feel for the product.
And I think applying it from the bottom works a lot easier
This
than
way?
applying it. So,
Or you're saying this is the bottom?
I'll show you how I do it. So I'll start at here.
Okay.
And I'll work my way out.
Okay.
And then I do one solid stroke all the way down to the point.
Oh, okay, let's do that.
So instead of, a bunch of like lines, I try to do one fluid motion all the way down to the point of my eyebrow. And it takes a lot of practice. I've been doing this for about a year of trying to get my eyebrows to cooperate.
Hello, Tina. You haven't been
Yes,
watching the
hello.
comments.
Yes, hello, Tessa and Tina.
Thank you for joining us.
Oh, we have both your sisters were on. Hello, Sarah and Sammy. Sorry we missed you. I'll be in town this weekend. Oh, Jenny Athey. And you see ladies for some help.
Ooh.
Oh, yes. Hello,
Or you
Katrina.
can just see us because you love us.
Or you can just come see us because you love us and you want to see our beautiful faces and we want to see your beautiful face. So,
I gotta
how's
make
it going?
this somewhere square. They're niece and nephew. I don't know. Not sisters.
they're not sisters, but you want them to be sisters, not twins. Your eyebrows are never going to look exactly the same. So now, after she applies it, I'm going to tell her a few little tips. I'm just going to fix it up a little bit and tell her how I would do it a little different. You've got it pretty good, though.
Almost brow pro.
Mm-hmm. So what I would do just a little different is just kind of brush out the rough edges. Because I actually refer to putting my eyebrows on as painting them on, staining them. Brow stain. Brow stain.
Sometimes I'll clear mine with concealer, like clean them up.
Oh, yep. And we can do that too. Not necessary to do it exactly right now, but might as well.
Well, if they get real messy.
But you can clean everything up. And once you get as good as me, you won't have to do that. So we just kind of cleaned up just the edges. I think those look really nice on you.
It frames your face.
So next, we're going to do eyeshadow, and then we're going to finish up with the last few steps. So for eyeshadow, do you prefer more of a shimmer? Do you prefer more matte? What would you prefer?
I like matte.
So we are going to do matte. Do you prefer more pinks, more browns, more of a smoky eye?
I prefer bright colors.
You prefer bright. Or the other thing.
Neutral, like completely neutral.
So I'll ask them kind of what they like, get an idea. Or I also ask, do you want me to try something completely different on you, what you wouldn't normally choose?
Do that.
So, because I've never done Andrew's makeup, as we've been doing this for 1.5 years together,
Yes.
I'm going to do what I want to do on your face.
Okay.
And you're going to be like, okay, just do whatever you want. And I do, as I'm going through also, I will take notes of what you do and do not like. So if you're like, I really like your concealer, we'll write it down, and then at the end, we'll go over everything. So we're just going to apply our concealer, which can also work as an eyeshadow primer. Not only does it help your eyeshadow stay in place longer, but it can also make your eyeshadow appear more vibrant.
I'm all about that.
And we like vibrant. Andrea is all about the colors. I'm all about the black and white. And you don't need a lot. You don't want a lot, because if you apply a lot of product, it is going to kind of build up, and we don't want that. So we're going to do something fun. Since she's wearing this lovely plaid shirt, and she's wearing kind of a pink and what's like pink and black, kind of like a fuchsia black. So we're going to do kind of a fun little look. Are you scared?
No.
Good. I've never had anybody scared of me doing their makeup either. Like, how I do my makeup is completely different than how I apply it on somebody else. So if you ever think my makeup sucks, I promise you I would never do it badly on you. So we're just going to start with the base. And I try to keep the look simple. So if you do like it, I try to make it so you can use multiple shadows for multiple products. So like how we use an eyeshadow for her eyebrows, sometimes I'll try and work that in if you want to stay within a budget. So I don't want to break your bank. And
I got another idea. Because I am so pale, I can get away with no translucent powder. I can get away with a light eyeshadow as powder.
And these eyeshadows last forever. Like, I know on my life, I've said this a bajillion times, but this eyeshadow right here, this is Creamboat. I've had this since last March. And that's how much I still have left. And I use it almost on a daily basis, which I think is still kind of crazy. And also, I forgot to ask, but are you comfortable with me putting your eyeshadow on? So we did the base color. I just did a nice neutral. Are we still doing okay? Now we want to do, I'm going to mix it up. I want you to look in the...
We can play that game.
We're going to play the game. She's not allowed to open her eyes because I'm going to do something that I think will actually make her happy. And you already saw the colors that I opened up.
Well, they're my colors.
So, that's one I want. We are going to do... And I think this will make her happy.
Am I in the camera good enough?
Yep. I think so. Actually, I'm going to move my mirror over just a little bit so you get more light on your face. There we go. You guys can see that hopefully okay.
Ooh.
Does that feel okay in your eye?
Mm-hmm.
And you want to use short light strokes, and I kind of explain how I'm applying it. So with this one, I'm using this lovely bright shade. You already know what color it is probably. And I just lightly blend it. And this is how I do my eyeshadow probably every day, but I'm using different colors. And I'll actually have you turn your face a little bit to the, yep, that way. And I dab it in because this powder, this eyeshadow has so much pigment in it that you don't need a lot. The first time I ever had a one-on-one with a really good customer of mine, she was playing with the blush. And I remember it because I almost started screaming because she was so aggressively tapping the powder that I thought it was going to break. And I was like, you don't need that much because there's so much pigment and color to it.
Right, and when everyone's used to swiping the brush across the lid, but you don't realize you lose half your eyeshadow. It flings off the brush.
So what I like to do is I actually dab it into place and then blend. So I'm kind of placing the powder and then I'm blending it to the areas that I want it. I'm just gonna move the light just so I can see, make sure both eyes look even, which they do. Need a little bit more of this down here. And I'm just kind of going off of her outfit, so. Everybody's so quiet. Everybody must be eating dinner.
We got comments. Hey, Mary Jo.
Mary Jo is watching. Those are a while ago. Todd Schmidt. Let's see. Okay, so now the next one, I'm going to do kind of a smoky eye because Andrea has nice big eyes. So I can do something a little fun, and I just use a color that I've never used on myself.
That doesn't surprise me.
Well, actually it should because it's my favorite.
Boring.
It's my favorite color. Okay.
Should I turn? Can they
Oh.
see me?
Actually, you're good because I can see from the sun over here.
I mean, can they see me?
Oh, yep, nope, they're good. We're just doing a lot of color, which scares me but makes Andrea happy. It's kind of like a pretty raspberry. Does that make you feel better? I should put some music on.
A really good thing about one-on-ones is they're super private, and you can really get personal and talk about what your insecurities are and flaws and what you really want to fix and cover.
Because if you're in like a group setting, I feel like everyone that I've ever gone to, you kind of shut down and you don't want to express like, well, like I think my skin sometimes has a lot of breakouts. And Andrew's like, your skin's fine. Well, in a party setting, I wouldn't say anything. Where if it's a one-on-one, I'm going to be like, well, I feel like I get a little more breakouts than I would like to personally have. And you can actually communicate that with us without feeling super awkward.
Judged or,
Right, judged. Like you don't want to ever feel like that. And you will notice, I did this eye already, her right, left, left, left. So you're going to see that this looks like I'm not blended at all, and it looks like I'm just kind of making a mess. But I'll show you how it's going to turn out. Does that feel okay on your eye still? So you can see it looks kind of like a mess. I'm going to move this over just a little bit. Nope, you're not because I have to fix everything.
I don't want to see till the end.
Nope, nope. And what you will notice is like down here, I'm pointing at. You'll see like down here, I made like a little oops because there's so much pigment. But I'm going to show you how you can easily fix that too.
Are you talking about my cheek?
You kind of got down below your eye.
Sometimes I'll swipe extra foundation there.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That's what I'm going to show the peoples. You read my mind. So now I just went back through with another color. And what I'm doing is I'm blending those two together. So it's not such a harsh line. I feel okay?
Yep. And can I say how, like, pampering this is? Like, who wouldn't want to get their makeup done?
Okay, so you saw how I made like a little oops there? So now I can just take my foundation sponge with whatever product still left over, and I just basically erase it away. It's like a magic eraser for makeup. Okay, one more little step that I want to do, because I'm actually going to do a little bit of shimmer. Just a little bit. Because we did... Actually, I'm very proud of this right now. Because it's bright and dark and beautiful all at the same time.
Bright and dark.
Whoops, sorry.
You panicked me.
Sorry.
Bright and dark.
It's bright and dark and beautiful, but I think it's really pretty. Very pretty. So now we're going to blend all of this together. So it's not such a harsh line. I don't know if you're going to like it. I hope you like it. And I just watched a video where it was talking about blending, and it's taught me so much.
I was going to say, explain your blending, like,
So
motion.
when I went through, I'm going to actually just start from the beginning while I kind of buff all this out, is as you build and you do the different areas of your eye, you're actually going to want to kind of keep going back and blending over those lines so they're not so harsh.
Right, but do you, like, little circles, like little, I've heard of windshield wipers.
So, good question. When
In terms of blending.
Yeah. So for the initial color, I do it to get the product to be in place for that initial base color. I do a windshield wiper motion back and forth. And what I'm doing is basically settling that powder in its place. Now the second color and every additional color after that, I'm going to tap it into place, and I'm going to go through with a clean brush. This one's like a nice fluffy, it's a pointed taper.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to actually do little tiny circles almost and kind of swirl it into place. So it's not really moving it, but it's buffing it out.
Your brush will make all the difference.
And that is a bajillion
Based on
times
the density of it.
Yep. So, for example, I'll just kind of, which one's a good one? So we have our domed blender, which is a very short, stocky, and it's dense. It's
Tighter.
Yes, it's almost
Firm.
firm. So then you take that versus our tapered blender.
The idea of the tighter is more color in place, like more product in the brush.
We're reconnecting. We're good. Hey, Crystal. So it's just going to be a little bit easier. Do you want your product to be in place and get more of a darker, pronounced color, or do you want something that you're going to blend out a little bit? So that's going to define what brush you want to use. So I'm done with eyeshadow. So what do you think of your eyeshadow? Yes, you can look. I did kind of like a dark raspberry black. It actually turned out very pretty, I think.
I like.
Yes?
I like it a lot.
So what I did, Crystal thinks it's pretty,
It's like a Napoleon.
but I think it looks like a chocolate covered raspberry almost.
Yes.
Yeah?
Love it.
It's kind of almost like a gradient too, because it goes from the light from the inside corner and works its way out. But it also gives you kind of a smoky eye. And now I need to clean up underneath.
Right.
So as long as she's happy, yes?
I am. Yep.
I think it's a little different than what you would ever do. It's kind of a combination of the both of us. The brightness for Andrea and the dark black for me, because it's black like my soul.
I don't think I've ever worn black eyeshadow.
No, that's what I told you.
Did
I've
you
never
use
put
black?
I use the black. I use Dial It Black. I know. Back in black. It's kind of I've never used it. I know, we both just lost our
And it's
eyeshadow
not dark,
virginity.
it's not scary, it's not
No. What do you think of the blending technique?
amazing.
I think I did really good. I'm not trying to sound arrogant or anything.
I'm trying
but,
to get a close up for y'all.
Well, here. Turn that off. Now get up in there.
Oh. Well, that's way better. That's
You have to
an
move your face over. Look at that. Look at that blend.
A+ blend.
Look at that.
It's all on the wrist.
And, oh, thank you, Pamela. Look at all of our pretties.
Oh.
Hi, Pam.
Hey everyone.
Sherry, Misty.
Sherry.
Oh, yeah, we're just having a fun little time. So now, another thing you can do is, I usually have an eyeliner on hand. This lady has mine. I have no idea where mine is, my other one. So I also ask, do you want an eyeliner? I don't use my liquid actually on everybody because it's not sanitary.
But do you prefer?
But do you prefer eyeliner? If they do, another thing you can do, kind of like eyebrows, is I can go back and we can use our eyeshadows as a liner.
Right.
But, do you need eyeliner today? Would you like eyeliner?
I would. But like I don't prefer liquid. So
now, what I can do is kind of like with the eyebrows. It's the same technique. You just spray a little bit of the finishing spray into a cap. And you can use, I use a angled liner. We also have a pointed eyeliner brush.
ooh, never did that one.
I use it with my liquid, which is non-LimeLife, which kind of creeps me out. Or we also have a smudge brush. So, do you want to do liner, or what would you
I'll
prefer?
do liner.
Okay, I'm just going to clean this off. I'm assuming you want this.
No,
No?
I use that.
You want one of those?
Thank you.
And what's the other thing? Okay. You want these ones?
Yeah. I'll let you talk.
So, I'll let her apply all this, and as she's doing it, I'll kind of write down, do you like your eyeshadow? And this is where I kind of go through and write down, kind of get all the products that we applied to your face, kind of written down, and the colors, and just kind of have it organized, because I don't want to waste your time. I basically want you to come to me, or me to come to you, give you a little pampering, give you a little makeover, show you the products, and we can go on with our day.
There's a reason why we do this, and it's not because, like, there's no pressure to order products. We give you your colors, we give you your whatever that you loved, so that when you're ready, you can order it. And not everyone wants to order everything at once.
Like,
so it's nice to have that.
Right, and at least, like, with me, like, with Andrea, like, if she was a potential customer coming to me, I'm going to write down every product that I use today, and I have I use an app, but I write down everything that I put on you. I write down what you liked, what you didn't like. We also, sometimes we'll cover skincare, if they're into hearing about that. But that way, at the end of this, so say if you only want to order foundation and a powder and say mascara, we can do that, but I'm going to also document what exact products you like. So maybe a couple weeks from now, you're like, you know, I can't live without brownie points, one of our eyeshadows. Perfect. I know what it is, but you maybe are like, oh, what's that eyeshadow that I really liked, that dark brown one? I have it. So it's kind of, one, it's getting you comfortable with the products. It's also showing you how to apply them, because I'm actually shocked at how many people don't know how to apply makeup. Which, I mean, I was never formally taught. I just kind of threw foundation on.
You know how.
You do know how. We all know how, but
It just takes a little courage.
it does. Like, for example, in high school, remember those old Maybelline foundation sticks? I just slide all of that over my face. I never blended it. I never powdered it. It was just straight up foundation.
In high school, I drew my eyeliner down like here.
Yep, so did I. It wasn't acceptable. And now I hardly wear eyeliner. Right? You never would have guessed that. So, okay. Now,
Mascara.
we can do all that. No, your favorite part. Blush. I asked, do you want blush? Do you like contouring?
Oh.
I do mine a little different.
I do blush last, but We can do that.
I do mascara last. And see, this is where every one-on-one's different.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why I do mascara last is because I put all my finishing spray on and then you do mascara. And it actually...
It's not bothered me.
Oh, that's fine. Well, we can do that. We'll do...
Is this
No,
one?
I'm taking control.
You can. Go ahead.
So, I'll ask...
Blush me up, because that's my
We're gonna
favorite.
blush. Andrea's favorite is blush.
Oh, give me that one.
Really?
No.
I think we should do this one with the pink.
Okay.
So, I will go and say, Andrea, what color do you want? And she just said this one. No, I don't want to do that one. I'm going to do this one. Or sometimes they're like, I don't know what
She's
color
not
I
really
want.
like this. She's just
No.
doing this for me personally.
I'm just doing this because I've never done Andrea's
We
makeup.
cater to your needs.
I will cater to your needs and do exactly as you wish.
She's never had full control of me.
So if you're like, okay, I really like this one. Let's do that one. Crystal thinks it's funny. I will do whatever you want. That's the whole point of this.
Crystal, nobody's saying I want that one. Except for me.
I don't think it'll go with the pink.
You'd be surprised.
It might. And, I mean, you could mix them too. But, so we're going to do, what is this? Isn't it blushing? I think it's blushing. I remembered the name.
Number 5.
Number 5. Ooh, it's like Mambo number 5. Blushing number 5. So, remember what I was telling you a little bit ago? You guys are too cute. You're too cute. She's going to come to Denver next year with us.
Oh, yay!
So, do you remember?
How far of a drive is that? I bet she can drive.
I think she's flying.
Oh.
She's in Canada.
Right.
Oh.
It's probably not
Yeah,
any
how far
closer
of
than
a...
us.
Yeah.
12 hours?
Yeah. It has to... I don't know. So, remember my story earlier where somebody was like dabbing into my powder and I'm like, oh my god, don't kill my blush.
Same.
Watch. Tap, 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 tap. Look at all the powder. Look at that.
All of our products are professionally pigmented.
So, you don't need a lot. You literally just tap. She can't wait to meet us. We can't wait to meet you.
Aww.
Okay, so we're just going to do a little bit. And a lot of people do the smile and then apply. Andrea taught me.
To the apple.
You don't do this. But I think do you start at your hairline and work in? Or do you start from here and work out?
Nope, I started in.
No, I do that too. Just kidding. It's when I do it on somebody else and I go
Can
confused.
they see what you're doing?
Okay, there you go. Perfect. This is why Andrea is my model. So what I do is I actually just kind of lightly tap the product in place like this. Now I'll have you turn your face the other way because I have too much product on this brush. And I'll start at the temple. and
That's how less she needs, you guys. Do you
Like,
see how much she tapped?
do you see all this? And now what we're gonna do? Look at all the pink. That's ridiculous.
These products will last you.
So we really don't need a lot of product. So I just literally tapped it in place. And now I'm just going to do, and I learned this from Mama Cat, is you actually brush in an upward stroke because you want to lift the cheekbones. You don't want to brush them down.
Oh, I'm gonna try that.
Yep. And I just kind of, you don't go all the way in. Like a lot of videos will tell you to go, what is it, like the center of your pupil or some ridiculousness.
That's too much. You get clowny.
I stop at the outside corner of your eye.
That's why I stopped doing the cheek smile.
Yep. Don't do the cheek. Work from your temple in and stop about here.
It just gives you more natural color.
10.
And you're killing your natural highlight when you cover that up.
And I just brush up. It's a little harder with me because I'm trying to accommodate it. But you can see how it's gonna lift. Now, and if you haven't noticed, how I've been talking to Andrea is kind of how I talk during my one-on-ones. I'm not even going to apply them and talk to you like a person. I'm not going to talk to you like some lady in the mall. But I'm also going to give you tips on how to apply your makeup. So it's not like you're going into this blind. So you learn how to put your makeup on, you get some makeup tips for applying it, and you get a free makeover. Okay.
With no pressure.
So this one, it came out, you saw how much product I put on. It's not a lot, but it's pretty bright.
That's weak.
That's weak. I think it's too bright. Do you think that's okay? So now,
This is the
again,
part.
this is where we differ. I like neutrals and darks, and Andrea likes bright, happy things like flowers.
This is the idea. You start light. She asked me, how do I like this? More or less? More.
I just realized, like how I said earlier, this is how I learned in massage school. Is that enough pressure? Is this enough color? Do you want more color? So now she can go back in. Do you want to go in with more color? Are you okay?
Yes. No, I'll do it.
See? Now she can go in and do as she pleases with her face. And now she's going to dab and stab my blushes.
Can mix.
I don't
I'm
care
gonna
what
go
you
for
do.
this one.
Peachy?
No, I got here.
I should move this over so you can actually get in there. And we want, again, everything should be comfortable. We never want you to feel pressured or awkward or anything. I always follow up with my one-on-ones and I'm like, how is everything? Like, I don't want you to ever feel awkward.
I prefer you to play with the products.
Because then you're going to see, like,
you get a feel for how do they apply, how much you really need, how, like, the pressure you need to apply. It's just very, very good to know.
Because it's not like a drugstore eyeshadow.
No.
I don't even think I have. Actually, you want to hand me that gold palette? Yep. This isn't even drugstore. This is another.
You
Yep.
down talking?
No, not down talking. I'm just explaining, like, the quality, the pigment, the pigmentation in it. Like, our products you tap. So with this,
I'm interested. I've never had.
you see these colors? I'm not even going to show you the brand. Hopefully you can't even read it. I'm assuming a lot of you are going to pick up on what it is. But, okay, so let's just say you want this shadow color, okay? It looks really pretty. It looks kind of like a muted, what? Lavender?
Wine.
Almost like a gray.
Wine.
Wine? Wine.
Mauve.
Mauve. Mauve. And you have to rub.
What?
You have to rub.
Oh.
Look how much rubbing I just did. Now, this is a perfect.
No sale.
Like, look how much product I have. Now, see all that product? How many times did I rub my finger back and forth?
Ooh, show them at the angle. Can I do
Oh. Yeah, you can do this at the angle too, because I'll show you. I'm actually going to use your arm because mine's full of color from earlier.
I like to show this angle to see, like, I want you to see the power
Let's see, what's a good color to show? Do the green. Yep, do the green. See the tap?
Did you see that?
You see that?
What did
It
she
was
just do with
tap,
her
tap,
finger
tap.
for like 20 minutes?
Watch, I'll do it again. Actually, I'll do another finger.
Okay.
We're doing my ring finger. See how clean this is? You see the pressure?
Oh, no,
I'm literally
no.
pushing into it. And that's how much color I have.
Okay, I'm
Now-
gonna put this. Oop,
Let's do it on your wrist.
I'm gonna put it on my wrist, yeah, so I can show you. Oop. Sorry, you guys, this is not my camera. Like, look at that.
It's ridiculous. Now kind of,
Oh,
let's get
yeah,
that.
light.
Look at all the color, okay? Now watch this. Hold this
Oh,
my wrist again.
sorry.
Nope, we're good. So this is ours. Barely, like, tap, tap. And look at it. It doesn't go on smooth.
Man.
It goes on gritty. It's not a creamy, powdery eyeshadow at all.
And it's probably full
This
of
palette,
parabens.
this palette alone for eyeshadow that doesn't even blend, I'm not even going to tell you a price, but I can tell you can get a good 6 of our lovely, creamy, blendable eyeshadows for the same price. So, quality does count. I feel like I was an advertisement.
There was.
It was an advertisement.
Not intended.
Not intended, but just to show you how amazing our eyeshadows
Just to
are.
brag about our quality.
Just bragging. Okay, so we did that. Now we only have
So mascara.
mascara. So the last step.
My face.
Yep. And the last step I'm going to go over is, do you prefer a matte finish or do you prefer more of a dewy finish? Do you like your face to look like you just stepped out of a tanning bed, or do you like to not have any shine at all? Maybe you have do you have oily skin?
I have very oily skin.
Okay.
So I prefer matte.
You prefer matte. And we do have 2 different eyeshadows. Can you hand me that bottle, please? I think that's the right one. Or maybe it's this one. Yep, that's the right one. So we have 2 different ones. We have our, it's Time Setter now, which is more of a dewy finish. And we also have Oil Strike. Oil Strike is a matte finish and it also helps with oil control. So, you want to shake them up. And with Andrea, she says she has more oily skin. Oops, sorry.
That's good.
And I think, do you spray more than that?
No.
Okay. I spray way more than that, but
I focus on my cheeks mainly. some people focus on their eyes if they do a lot of eyeshadow.
And it kind of, you can focus more on where your oily spots are. So if you have more of an oily T-zone, focus there. If you have more of an oily, like I have it more on my chin, which is weird. So we let that dry. If you want, you can do the Facebook girl fan wave on your face. Sometimes I actually break out my blow dryer. Hi, Chelsea. And I actually will blow dry my face with the cool setting to get it to go a little bit faster.
I do that when I mascara.
Oh, yes. And I do that with mascara, which if you watch our lives, you've probably watched Andrea do it, and I do too. There is a tester, or you can use mine.
I was going to say that. I don't prefer to use yours.
I do also offer a tester of mascara, but if you hold on, I'm going to go over here because
not only,
again,
she's got brushes. That's what she's doing.
I have brushes because, like all
Sanitary
things, you want to be sanitary. You don't want. Is that the right one? This is actually my tester. That's the mascara I've been looking for.
Mascara is the first no-no you're supposed to share.
And actually, now that I work at an eye doctor, you throw your mascara away after 2 months. If he found out that you were using mascara that was like
none of y'all are doing that.
Throw it away, go buy a new one. Because one, you're going to save yourself for an eye infection. You might get pink eye. Like, there's so much bacteria that can grow in that mascara one. So,
or, do you remember in the car?
There was a tip.
Yeah, say it.
So, the other thing.
Brilliant.
This is brilliant. We learned so much at police. And this was just on the car right there. So, I always offer clean, disposable mascara wands. Because I don't want you getting an eye infection. I don't want your eye to get contaminated with somebody else's germs. So, if you want to, I'll show you. I take the mascara. I take the original wand out and basically
that's a cover.
Hold it away from the person I'm working with because I don't want them to touch this to their face because it's going to go back into the container. Other thing you can do too is you could probably just cut this off and that way nobody uses it. And I say, Andrea, do you want me to apply your mascara or would you like to apply your mascara? She's going to say, I want to apply my mascara because Christine's going to poke me in the eye. And what I'll do...
I'll let her, but it's going to suck.
I'm not going to do it. Is I'll dip the mascara wand in because I don't want them to lose this in my mascara because it ain't coming out.
To the tip?
The tip, yes. As you're applying them into the tip. So I dip the disposable wand in for you and I say, here you go. Apply your mascara. Also, it's loaded with cottonseed oil, which helps to grow your lashes.
We're not on the same track.
We're not,
here.
but I'm going. So
no, I'm going too. What we learned from this girl on the cab ride, though.
ADHD.
This is your own mascara tube, right? And we can get you these little sample things, and you can also buy them at a dollar store for super cheap.
Or Amazon.
You never use this brush, and you just spend your whole lifetime grabbing a new disposable sucker.
Mm-hmm.
What'd she say it lasts? 30
Well, it's going to last a lot
longer?
longer. Just because typically...
You're letting air, like, you're pumping air in and then you're growing bacteria every time that you bring this out into the open. So every time you open this tube, this part is going to grow.
And it's going to get
germs
dried
and
out
bacteria.
and icky.
And you put it back in there and it just creates baby bacteria. You take a fresh spoolie every time.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Every time.
Brilliant.
It is. Well, not only that, but there's a lot of people that only wear makeup, say, once a week.
Right.
Or once a month. So, okay, you just bought a $20 tube of mascara, but you only wear makeup like once a month. I mean, there's a lot of people, I mean, I'm not calling out nurses, but say you're a nurse, you don't wear makeup to work. Or you're in the military, you can't wear makeup during drill. So, by taking your mascara and using a disposable wand every time, you're lengthening the time that you have that $20 tube of amazing, perfect mascara with built-in fibers.
Just because it's wet doesn't mean it's new or not old or germy. People only replace theirs when they're dried out, and that's not.
And I mean, I'm a victim.
Mm-hmm.
I would take my old mascara tube, and this is back when I'd buy like drugstore, and I would just take like Visine or eye drops and drop it in to get my mascara back to that consistency that I preferred.
Teenager budget.
You don't do that. Well, this is a college budget.
Well,
but anyway. anyway, it's not good for you. It's not good for your eye health. And we're all better than that. We're all adults. Your eyes look awesome, Yolanda says. Thank you. I did them.
Christine did them.
Like, actually, can you hand me that tube?
Which one?
The silver one. Yep.
How many
Okay.
mascara do you got?
This is the original. This is our... Oh, no, it isn't. Is it this one? This is... I'll show you. This is a perfect example. So this is our Lime Light. I've kept this purposely. Because one, I wanted to show you what the old brush looked like. But two, look how wet this already is. This is still wet. Do you know how old this mascara wand is? I've had this since January.
Sorry, I just want to make sure they see what I'm doing.
But this is the perfect example. Like, your mascara, it still looks wet. It still looks usable. You don't use this. It might look good, but don't use it. Like, the other perfect thing that they've started doing on our wands is I know you're not going to be able to see it, but there's a little detailed strip on here. Thank you, Yolanda. Our mascara is paraben free. It's Leaping Bunny certified. It's vegan. So no animals are harmed during the making of this mascara. That sounds like a movie. And it tells you how long you can keep it once it's open. And it tells you it's 3 months. So you have up to 3 months to use this once it's opened. Which, honestly, I think that's a generous amount of time.
All of our makeup actually has that neat feature.
Mm-hmm.
Which is very convenient for...
It is. Because you don't realize,
you don't know.
Yeah, you don't realize how long you've had a product. Like, let me see if it has it on this.
Unless you have an awesome beauty guide.
Yes. And then we'll remind you when you need to get new products, because I've had a person, what did she order? I think she ordered a One Drop Wonder, like, I don't remember. It was almost a year ago. And I'm like, you probably want to get another one. Because you told me how awesome it is, but... How's it working?
Good.
And she did use another new mascara wand.
Yep.
So everything's sanitary. So not only do I get to offer you the opportunity to use our amazing mascara that has the fibers built in, but I'm not wasting my own money buying 30 tubes for having a day of makeovers.
Right, and if you can look at my lashes, I'm getting the same
holy moly.
experience, right? Just because I'm using a disposable doesn't mean I don't get the fiber.
Exactly.
And now you can show me a trick.
And actually...
Christine, look what I did. Ooh.
Oh, you did a boo-boo. Oh, this is my favorite part.
Yes.
Okay. So I'll let her finish up. But the other thing is, I also try to find disposable makeup wands that are as close as possible to what we use in our makeup tubes. That way you are getting a little bit closer to the full effect of our mascara product and packaging. Okay, here's my favorite part.
Look what I did.
She made a boo-boo on her face.
Newbie.
And
rookie mistake.
I do it all the time because I have little eyes. Andrea has larger eye
never
areas.
do this. I'm embarrassed.
Actually, I'm kind of proud that you did it because then I can show everybody. So I'm actually just going to use this. I use a bent spoolie brush. This is a Real Techniques because we don't have just this plain spoolie. But instead of going through and redoing all of your beautiful eyeshadow, I mean, look at that blending. You don't want to ruin that. A lot of people go through and be like, oh, my eye's ruined. No.
First thing they do is like...
Right, and then they smear it, and then you have wet mascara smeared, and then it dries, and then your whole eyeshadow look is gone. But if you take a soft spoolie brush, this one you can buy on Target, I think is where I got it. And you're going to just take it and lightly brush against the skin, and does it hurt at all?
Or you can use our eyeshadow.
Or you can use eyeshadow to kind of blend it out.
The double-ended brush, I'm saying.
Oh, yeah, you can. You can also use our brow tamer. But did that hurt at all?
Nope.
And look at your eyeshadow.
Flawless, I bet.
Flawless.
Ooh.
Didn't wreck it at all.
Oh, it's like a...
Ombre.
Seriously, it's like a Neapolitan sandwich.
It is a Neapolitan sandwich.
Ice cream sandwich.
I did really good. Alrighty. So, we just did a one-on-one. I explained all the products. Did you feel comfortable during our one-on-one? Obviously, I'm not going to be this cheesy when I talk to you. But I want to make sure that they're comfortable.
Or controlling.
We go through everything. I say, is there anything you have questions on? Is there anything that you want to try out more of? And this is where we kind of just, you tell me if you want anything, if you like anything. If not, that's okay. If you want, we can also go over just the different products, the ones we didn't try. That turned out really good. We did good. Thank you, Stephanie.
Well, God, you're gonna have to slap your name on this.
I'm gonna have to.
Might be the new Christine.
See, I can do the mascara, eyeshadow way better on another person than I can do on myself.
I couldn't do this. Too dark.
It was from the training the other day. So, anyway, that's kind of a one-on-one step, a how-to. So, if you guys are, after watching this, not scared anymore and you feel comfortable, we would love to meet up with you guys. Either of us, obviously we won't be together, so, but we can do one-on-ones. And I want you to feel comfortable, we both do. But we just wanted to kind of give you an idea because I feel like a lot of people are just like, ugh.
And like we said, it's always no pressure. And we have a love it guarantee with a like 0.07% return rate.
It's like 0.0,
like not even on the Richter scale.
0.0072938.
Like nobody's returning these products.
Yeah. Like
y'all are missing out.
I've honestly never had a product returned.
No.
I mean, if I did, it was because I swapped it out with a different one.
Color.
Yep.
Exchange.
Or they wanted like our 10 years younger or time setter instead of oil strike. But other than that, like I've never had somebody like unhappy with a product. So, alrighty. Well, I think that's kind of it.
Yes.
We're gonna go wash our faces because you need to wash your face at night before you go to bed.
I'm not.
So, no, she's just gonna sleep
I'm
in
gonna
this.
go like this.
And this will probably last her 3 days
Take
because
some selfies.
makeup doesn't move. So, alrighty. Well, we're out.
Thanks
See you
for
later.
watching.
Thanks for hanging out.